They engineered this modern digital trap to keep you weak, addicted, and entirely submissive. Your brain has been hijacked by pixels. If you want your masculine sovereignty back, you must stop hiding and face the absolute dark truth. You know that feeling? That heavy, suffocating guilt after you give in. You promised you'd stop. You installed blockers, tried to run from triggers. But what if running away is exactly why you keep failing? Listen, centuries ago, a merchant named Zeno watched his entire fortune sink in a shipwreck. If that were you, you'd lose your mind, right? But Zeno didn't. He walked to Athens, building an empire of the mind. He knew you cannot fight a storm. You endure it. Your brain is hypersexualized because you treat temptation like a monster. You run. But to desexualize your brain forever, willpower won't save you. You need the Greek method. Stop hiding. Stand your ground. Watch the urge die. The core of this ancient mechanism rests on the dichotomy of control. You cannot control the toxic, hypersexualized world, but you have absolute sovereignty over your reaction. The Greek method proves a dark reality. You cannot defeat an enemy you continuously run from. By avoiding triggers, by installing blockers and hiding in fear, you give them godlike power over your nervous system. You teach your brain that the trigger is a predator. Stop fleeing, stand your ground, and no external image, no digital trap will ever dictate your peace again. Let's destroy a modern myth. Society tells you lust is a forbidden pleasure, and gurus tell you to fight the urge, to distract yourself when darkness creeps in. Go for a run, they say. Take a cold shower. This is a lie. Every time you frantically distract yourself, your brain registers the trigger as a massive, lethal threat. You reinforce the exact neural pathways you want to destroy. By fighting, you validate the enemy. You feed it your energy. The Greek mechanism reframes this entirely. It is not a battle of strength. It is a game of cold, brutal indifference. You don't fight the shadow. You turn on the light and watch it disappear. Think your modern problems are too strong? Think your smartphone is too powerful to resist? This psychological framework was used by the lowest, most oppressed individuals in human history. Epictetus was a crippled slave, his physical body owned and tortured by a cruel master. Yet, he applied non-reaction to master his internal kingdom. His master could break his leg, but he couldn't touch his mind. And look at Diogenes, the mad genius who lived in a barrel in the filth of the street, exposed to every chaotic element of Athenian society. He didn't hide in a cave to avoid temptation. He sat right in the noisy market, stared at the decadence, the lust, the greed, and refused to react. He looked at the richest men and saw only sick patience. Whether you are a slave in iron chains or a modern citizen chained to a glowing screen, the method is flawless. Think about a violent thunderstorm. When black rain crashes down, do you scream at the clouds? Do you negotiate with lightning? Do you beg the wind to stop? No. You understand the storm is a force of nature. It comes and it passes. Your lust, your dark urges. They are just bad weather in the brain, sudden, meaningless spikes of neurochemicals. The suffering doesn't come from the urge itself, it comes from your desperate, childish expectation that the sky should always be clear. When you accept that the storm will come, you stop fighting the rain, you stop shivering, you just watch the water fall and wait it out. So here is the brutal prescription. The next time you are triggered, do not close the screen in a panic. Do not run away like a coward. Stop. Look right at it. Engage in voluntary exposure. Observe the image like a cold scientist observing a dead, squirming bug under a microscope. Let the urge hit you with full force. Feel the spike in your chest, the rush of blood, the shallow breath, and do absolutely nothing. Do not touch yourself. Do not negotiate. This is stress inoculation. By simulating the discomfort and refusing to react, you kill the neural pathway. You starve the parasite by denying it the host's energy. Make no mistake. The system wants you weak, drained, and docile. Modern culture, the algorithmic feeds, the relentless hypersexualized marketing, this is an invisible digital prison. They weaponized your own evolutionary biology to turn you into a submissive, pathetic consumer. Silicon Valley engineers study casino slot machines to keep you hooked. Every time you click, they profit from your lack of control. It is a deliberate, calculated attack on your dopamine receptors. You were pushed into a labyrinth designed by billionaires profiting off your misery. The trap is their fault. But staying in it, that is your choice. Escaping it is your absolute responsibility. To escape, you must systematically devalue the false desire. Lust is not a warm, comforting friend. It is a biological parasite hijacking your nervous system, forcing you to trade your masculine dignity, your focus, and your energy for 5 seconds of cheap, fake release. What do you actually get at the end? Look at the reality. An empty screen, a drained body, and the bitter, suffocating taste of regret. Strip away the fantasy. The pixels do not love you. The screen does not care about you. It is a cold, dead transaction. Once you see the object of desire as pure poison rather than a hidden treasure, the hunger vanishes instantly. You don't crave poison. Let's bring this into the hyper-modern world. You're scrolling late at night, the room is dark, your defenses are down. The algorithm feeds you a perfectly engineered thumbnail designed specifically for your weaknesses. The old you would panic, fight, click, and spiral into shame. The new you, armed with this stoic software, you pause, you take a deep breath, you recognize the metagame being played against you. You say out loud, "The algorithm is testing my sovereignty. A machine is trying to break me." You feel the intense biological pull, and you let it pass through you like a ghost. You don't flinch. By doing this, you short-circuit the billion-dollar code. You break the matrix, you win. Imagine this radical shift in a completely different arena. You're at work. You face a brutal rejection, a public humiliation, a failed project you bled for. Normally, the ego screams. Your heart races, your face gets hot, you want to quit or lash out. But applying this exact same mechanism of non-reaction changes everything. You realize rejection is just a mathematical probability. It is external noise. You brutally separate the event from your emotional reaction. The failure is just raw data. By treating professional failure with the same cold, calculated detachment as a digital trigger, you transform from a fragile, emotional employee into an untouchable, dangerous force. You re-signify the failure into fuel. To master this across your entire life, you need the 4 pillars. The iron framework of the Greeks. 1. The anchor. Acknowledge the strike immediately. Name the enemy aloud. Say, "This is just a dopamine spike. This is just an urge." 2. The devaluation. Remind yourself what it truly is. It is a parasite, not a prize. It is poison masked as honey. 3. The void. Enter absolute non-reaction. Do not fight the feeling. Do not run from it. Stand perfectly still in the fortress of your mind. Let the fire burn outside the walls. 4. The fade. Watch it dissolve. Like a spoiled child having a violent tantrum, give it 0 attention, 0 eye contact, and it will eventually tire out and collapse. Master these 4 steps, and you master the fabric of your reality. If you still doubt this, if you think your modern urges are too hard to conquer, look at Vice Admiral James Stockdale, a fighter pilot shot down and thrown into a brutal, lightless prisoner of war camp for 7 agonizing years. Tortured, beaten, starved, stripped of every ounce of human dignity. He had 0 control over his physical body or his environment. But he had read Epictetus. He applied this exact method of non-reaction to physical agony. He accepted the brutal reality of the camp, refused to let the captors break his internal mind, and he survived while other men shattered. If a man can use this philosophy to endure 7 years of relentless torture and isolation, you can absolutely use it to survive a pathetic 5-minute urge in the comfort of your bedroom. This isn't just ancient, dusty poetry. Modern science proves it to be absolute fact. In clinical psychiatry, this process is known as extinction. When a conditioned stimulus, a severe trigger, is presented without the expected dopamine reward, the neural connection literally degrades and dies. Brain scans show that when you observe an urge without acting, you actively shrink the amygdala, the primitive fear and panic center of the brain. At the same time, you thicken and strengthen the prefrontal cortex, the center of logical, executive control. The Greek philosophers discovered the laws of neuroplasticity thousands of years before the first MRI machine was ever built. It is not self-help, it is a biological law of the human machine.